Hey, Curious Dude here with an update about Van Gogh. It's been a couple of weeks, and so I'm well overdue for an update, so follow along today as we put modern and safe seatbelts in this vintage Volkswagen bus. Anyways, bought these from California Import Parts, CIP, Canadian. I think they're about 160. They're on sale, so it's around 100 bucks American, 110. Good deal. And so I bought a pair for the front. I'm not going to worry about the back. But the front ones are kind of a pain to work with. They have a little bit of a retractor mechanism that helps them to spool up a bit. But what happens is that, once you have this on tight on your chest and over your shoulder, it's like there's no adjustment. And so it's pretty uncomfortable driving position, to be honest. Those of you that are familiar with it will know what I mean. You can't really move around. You're used to modern seatbelts. So I'm going to install, I've already done the driver's side, and I'll give you a tour of it, and I'll show you how I do the install on the passenger side too. Okay, this is the driver's side, which is already installed. And so when you open the package, it's pretty easy to work with. That's the actual retractable mechanism. There's a base, and it comes with all kinds of adjustment pieces I'll show you in a minute. And then you use the existing anchor spots. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward and works great, to be honest. And then of course comes with a new buckle mechanism that's a push button. Works great. I've tried it out, fits good. Door slams. I mean, it doesn't look factory, but it's way more comfortable if you want to drive it. So let's look at how we do the install. All right, when you open up the box, inside you'll find, of course, the buckle and the latching mechanism, which is pretty straightforward. It's naturally bent, but it's a heavy gauge steel. You can just straighten it out like that one's already been straightened out. Comes with the retractor with the belt mechanism, and it's all kind of pre-assembled. Comes with some instructions in 4 or 5 different languages. Pretty straightforward. I just went on the SOM, I got some pictures. Then it comes with a bag of hardware. So you've got some L-shaped brackets, you've got some S brackets, straight brackets, and then you've got these different components that you'll use to install the pieces. All right, so this is not a super complicated job. I mean, the first thing, it's all 17 mil. So, I mean, literally, you remove this 17 mil bolt here. Now, I know from having a couple of bay windows that this can be a rusty nightmare down in here. This one's good, obviously, but you probably want to, if you're not sure, I'd definitely consider soaking it. You could probably get underneath and actually soak the bottom of the bolt from the fender, upper fender well there. So that's that. There's some hardware on there if you want to keep it. You're not going to use it anyways, but if you're going to sell it and you want to keep all the original German stuff together, which I certainly will do with this bus because it's a purely original. Pull that off. And then there's one up, pretty straightforward. It's up on the door pillar, 17, it's the same thing. Once you get that off, there you go. Entire belt assembly is easily removed and done. Okay, so then you're left with, you've got this hole here. That's where you're going to use this existing, hardware that they provide you. Now, what I did on the other side, what I found quite worked well is I didn't use this bracket. I didn't use the straight bracket. I actually used the 90-degree bracket. And what I did is I ended up mounting it like this, and I'll show you how this all assembled together. And this was the best placement for me. There are instructions about how this belt is designed, this retractable belt. And what you need to remember is that the assembly itself here, like this, needs to be sitting up and down like this. This is how the webbing removes. If it's crooked, it won't withdraw. So you're really limited in how you can lay it out. So this has to be set up vertically to be able to withdraw. So with that in mind, really, the best way to do this is to put that on there, and then you'll put the base, it looks like this, goes on here, and then that is bolted into place there. And so that, what I found worked best. I had to angle it slightly to get the door closed, but I'll shoot a little bit more video of how it looks before I assemble it and then bolt it in, and I'll show you from there. All right, so here's the install for in here in the door pillar. So there's the regular triangular piece that, you know, would be on any seatbelt that's up on your shoulder end, and you're going to put this spacer shim on the inside, and then you put, and this is all in the instructions, and then you've got a bit of a wavy washer, a spring washer, so that you don't over tighten this and not allow there to be movement. And it's really as simple as getting it in place here and literally screwing it in. And again, you can refer to the instructions, but you don't need to cinch this on ridiculously tight or anything. You want to make sure it's got good and threaded and there's tension on that wavy washer, but you want to still leave it loose enough that this can move, because it needs to adjust as it sits on your shoulder or it sits on another person's shoulder. So you kind of cinch it up and you'll tell where it's starting to get. So there we go. That's done. The next start will be, now we've got that on, now we'll move to the base. All right, so we'll move on to putting the retractable mechanism. So the 90-degree bracket is installed the way I mentioned that earlier, so it's already tightened down. And what'll happen is I'll bolt it back down here in that position. And we have to have it straight up and down for it to retract easily. There you go. Okay, so I pulled out a bunch of base, and that's that base attachment, which will need to go underneath there as well. So the order I'm going to put this in is there's a nice little shim here that fits up underneath there, which is good practice to use. That'll allow that to still pivot a bit. So we're going to put that in here like this. Got the lock washer on the top, and get that through. Just like that. And make sure we've got enough threads through there, and we do. And we're just going to I'm just going to pause the video. I'm going to start cinching that down. All right, there you can see it's tightened down and still allows a little bit of movement for adjustment. This is of course the lap part of the belt, so that's the way you want it installed there. Okay, here's a look at the where the base of the retractable seat belt will attach. So that's the old base, and super easy. There's one bolt, and you swap that out and replace it with the other base. And so the other side's already done, and so you can see it's a little bit longer. I mean, I really don't like the look of them, but I sure like the price. But super easy swap. All right, so the installation is done. So how does it work? Well, just great. Like any modern car, you can just grab the seat belt, retract it, buckle it in place and adjust, and you're done. Fits great on the hip, over the shoulder the way it should, and has the benefit of some added mobility. So when you're turning around to back up, there's no issue. You're not locked into place. So super easy upgrade. Can't recommend it enough from safety perspective, of course, and just to have that modern tech in your vehicle. It's a great upgrade. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the content. Give me a like if you do, or a comment if you want to learn more. I've got a link up here for a video tour of Van Gogh if you haven't seen it before. And also in the description below, I've got a link to the playlist for all of Van Gogh videos. So thanks a lot for watching.